Well, it drove okay. Problem is it keeps using coolant, and it was starting to overheat because it was low on coolant. I don't know where it's going. I don't believe it's leaking out of it. Is it going into the combustion chamber? Let's hope not. I did a head gasket on this. It runs better. I don't know, it's annoying. I just had the kid drive me to town, and she works at a restaurant, so I went inside and had breakfast. And when I came out, there was a puddle. So it is leaking. Now it's up under the intake here, so I don't know what it is. Hopefully it's just a hose. So I'm gonna pull some of this out and have a look. Well, so that was easy. Just have to take the entire intake manifold off. This thing has coolant going through every part of it. It's kind of ridiculous. But anyway, I'm pretty sure it's this hose. I just want to wipe it down and see if I can figure out where it's coming from. If it's just on the connection, might be able to try a new spring clamp. If there's a hole in the hose, well, we'll get a new hose. And it's wet right at the top. So is it failing here, or is it this T here? Probably regret this. I just want to back this off a little bit. I mean, that looks like that's stainless steel. I can't imagine that would be what's failed. I'd like to not release all the coolant. I think it's just coming out of the hose. So I need a new hose. Could try to put a better clamp on that, but this one's gonna come off too, so it'll be a new hose with new clamps. I mean, it's crusty. Well, I'm glad I didn't fill the engine with K-Seal. That's where I was getting. Like, does a guy replace this one too while I'm here? It's a spot to get to for sure. I took the old parts wagon to town. Got a piece of heater hose. Hopefully I can get that on there. Well, that was a super lot of fun. I don't know how much coolant I lost, but you know, we'll be all right. Now I gotta put this manifold back in. It's crazy how many things connect to it. I guess I'll let you watch. All right, this was one of the lower bolts. It's chewed right up. I'm gonna put this up top where it's easy to see and put one of the better ones down below. Yeah, and there's a metal bracket. That's battery hold down. Where did that go? Ah, yes. This thing already over tightened everything appropriately. That's pretty much it for that. Put this stuff back in. Clips to do up under here, and I throw the battery back in. Toyota did not want the wires moving around in this car. Everything's tied right down to exhaustively, really. I think I'm gonna not worry about that. Heck of a spot. Unfortunate where that is, you can't run the car to see if it leaks until you put it back together. Hopefully it's good. Not a fan of these battery terminals. So I got one of these. I've always kind of wanted one. All right, let's fire this thing up. Suppose just put this dumb thing back. Don't squeak, that's new. Almost like somebody threw antifreeze on everything. I think I'll get everything plugged back in. This thing's always kind of idled weird. She's years old. And it's been taken apart by me a few times, so. I can't help but think that 2,000 RPM is the right idle though, so. Just make sure I got things plugged in again. Well, I'm gonna let this run for a bit and I'll report back. Well, the idle came back down to earth. I don't know what that was about, but I'm gonna add some transmission fluid. She's a little low still. It's not sitting perfectly level. Still got a drip, but everything's covered, so I don't know if it's just residual or if it's leaking somewhere else and I'm dumb. Both are, you know, good possibilities. Freaking Amazon cam out here again. And it's definitely still leaking. Is that friggin' T-fitting? This is known as too good to be true. It is too. This is not a good camera. What would be nice is if I could get it at an angle to confirm where it's coming from so that I know what I need to fix. Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah, so there's a metal pipe that wraps around the end of the engine that goes to the heater core. There's a little tiny T on there that's leaking. So I don't know what that's gonna be to replace that. May have to homebrew something. I don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on this car. But it's all back together for now. We can still drive it. We just got to keep an eye on it. It was dripping very slow, but with this cap off, the system's not pressurized. So I may start it now and let it get hot again and see if it's just absolutely spraying out once it's pressurized. We'll see. So I'm not seeing that part new anywhere, but I can get them used. I guess that's what I'll do. They're like 30 bucks. Not ideal, but if we can make this thing go for a few more years, it'd be awesome. Because chances are teenagers are gonna drive it off the road anyway, so. All right, well, let me give some parts. Well, eBay to the rescue. Hopefully it's exactly this and nothing else. So I gotta pull this apart again. I've had it apart enough now, it shouldn't be too hard. Now the pipe in question goes under here. That's the fuel rail. We won't do that. Dingleberry. You don't need this very often, but man, when you do, it's great. Okay, I replaced this hose before. Now I gotta replace this because I think it's leaking on this joint. Man, I just had that off of there. It doesn't take them long to cook themselves on. Just stay there, not make a mess. That would be excellent. There's a couple of different bolts holding this. Another one here. Oh goody, it's got a wiring harness attachment point. That should be a good time. I hope you can see past my big head. The bracket that's in the way is the bracket that is held on by that. So I guess I'm gonna try to slide that off of there too. Oh, actually wasn't that bad. It's like 50-50 with those wire harness brackets, whether it's gonna let go or not. It'll be a lot of fun to put back in. All right, that's loose now, except for the heater hose part. Oh yeah. Oh, now we're losing coolant. Not too much. Now, I want to know if that's really the culprit. This wasn't leaking here because I can't even get it to move. So I want to go put some compressed air in this and see what I get. Just put a little bit of air in the end and just held my fingers over this and it was bubbling up out of here, so that was definitely it. And also I wanted to confirm that those were exactly the same. They look like it to me. The new one must have been from down south or something. There's far less rust on it. Tempted to replace this clamp with a regular hose clamp, but as long as these are in good shape, they're usually pretty good, I guess. Guy at the parts store tried to tell me that this kind's better. While I agree you can, you can tighten it. Don't these always keep tightening? Where these you tighten it and come back later and it's not tight? It's been my experience. For example, this hose I replaced down here, that hose clamp was barely tight. Put that on like 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna thread that back in, hopefully put this thing back together. Okay, that's in position. Let's get this bolted on. And then I'm gonna put the bottom hose on. I think if I get the easy one lined up first, easier one, should help me with getting the harder one lined up properly. Leave that a little loose. Yep, started. That back on there. We'll put this lower hose back on first. Hopefully prevent some of that from leaking. I'm gonna put the top back on. Pouring out of there. Hold that for me, would you? That'll be fine. All right, this top one back on there. That's that. I'm just gonna get the clamp on. We're almost home. Yeah, I can't see it. Fuel line in the way. Bend that around, break it off, start a fire. You know, regular stuff. Okay, let's hope that doesn't leak. This doodad back on. Yeah, when I did the head gasket on this, I couldn't believe how many little plastic clips that hold wires. There's hundreds of them. Toyota did not want their wires to move. All right, so before I tighten that, I'll make sure I can get these clicked in. At the end of the day, I don't really care. Yes, I had to be behind that before I put the bolt in. Well, let's throw an intake back in. The amount of things that needs to be hooked onto this is too high. That's like PCV hose. I can get the clamp on that after. Get that over the studs. Jeez, that's not too bad. All right, bolt her on. The only one part of this that's hard is there's a bottom bolt that's hard to see and get to because there's a wiring harness that runs right across the front of it. And while I can get my hand in there, I can't get my hand in there and see at the same time. I'm not even gonna try to film some of this stuff because you guys aren't gonna see it. So you're just here. I just hope this thing can be okay for a bit without needing more. It's getting a little old. I feel like all I've done is worked on this. Oh yeah, I forgot something. I might need to take this back out to get it in there. I hope not. Okay, good. Oh my word. I don't know if that little plate is so that you don't blow the manifold off when you hit the nitrous or what, but Toyota seemed to think it was necessary, so we'll roll with it. Get the mighty 1-inch extension. This thing got more friggin' wires and hoses than I don't know what. Goes here. Thought I had an extra hose there for a minute. Another wire clip on this too. I didn't do it up last time. I don't know if I just couldn't find a spot for it or what. I'm not as worried about it as Toyota. That's it. Probably gonna top off the coolant, get the old spill-proof funnel out for that. I quite like this thing. Never been overly impressed at the process to fill a radiator and get all the bubbles out. So you stand there dribbling coolant in forever. And I like how you can put a bunch in here, and if it's too much, you just plug it and pull it out, and you can put it right back in the bottle. All right, got the heat on, let that run for a bit. Of course, it's gonna be hard to check for leaks now. Everything's coated in coolant, but what do you do? And I suppose I could come out here and hose it off, but that seems a bit much for a 2009. Me and the girl are gonna go for a drive later, so get a good chance to get it nice and hot and make sure we don't have any catastrophic leaks. I don't see any right off the bat, but we can't see many on this car anyway. This thing hunts around on idle. I don't know why, probably that. I haven't seen any major drop in this, so there's heat coming out of the vents. I guess I didn't look at the temperature gauge. It's still not fully up to temp, but the fan I just see the fan kick on, so must be about there. Fan turns on and off quite frequently. Well, it's good to see that working at least. I guess I just need to look to see if it's leaking actively. I don't see anything dripping just yet. Well, hopefully that's it for this. I'll report back after we drive tonight, and you know, if you don't hear from me again, when we were stranded and lost. So, put this silly thing back on. Now this here, fill that guy up. Now that can start pressurizing and find out where the real leaks are. All right, check you later. All right, check you later. Wait, how is that all the video I have? Did I forget to record the end of this? All right, so that's why I think the Kias are better than Ferraris. If you don't agree, please comment. You're wrong. So, oh, the Toyota. Yeah, so anyway, I got a new bike. It's not what you're thinking, but can you believe this is in the dumpster? Anyway, the Toyota doesn't leak anymore. Hopefully we can put another week or two on it before something else breaks. Thanks for watching.